In the very beginning, we meet Kurt Kunkel, a young man who is interested in becoming popular on social media and going viral. He is a gruesome guy and an edge king. In his efforts to go viral, he creates a variety of stuff on his channel. Kurt's World 96 was an attempt in the hopes that one among them would make him famous. This content includes live drawings, shoe reviews, gaming sessions, and even discussions about his favorite shortcuts on the keyboard. He has been presenting this content for the past 10 years, but his audience is still nowhere near double digits, making matters unbearable for him. Spoiler ahead, watch out! Bobby, the youngster who used to babysit, has grown into a social media celebrity who regularly live streams while he has a large following. Kurt reaches the breaking point one day and chooses to give it a final chance before giving up on everything. He comes up with a plan for a lesson in which he chooses to teach viewers how to make themselves famous on social media. In order to start the lesson, he puts up many video cameras and a few water bottles inside his car. He later decides to begin working as a driver with the ride-sharing app Spree. Every pickup and drop-off service is streamed live. The first passenger Kurt picks up is a man named Frederick. He is more terrible than Kurt. This man declines to put on a seatbelt and seems skeptical of the camera, but Kurt assures him that they are only for safety. Along the way, Frederick promotes the concept of white supremacy. He thinks that white people are the superior race, whereas every other race is inferior. When Kurt hears this, he becomes concerned that racism may harm his live streaming viewers, which is at the moment only Bobby. In an effort to avoid the subject, he starts to drive more dangerously. When the individual complains, Kurt gives him free water. Shortly later, the man becomes blurred, and it is surprisingly revealed that Kurt had poisoned the water to get people's attention. The man begins coughing severely, but Kurt simply turns on some music and rushes away. This leads to Frederick's unexpected death. Despite the harmful behaviors, Kurt has just a single viewer, Bobby, who thinks that the murder was not real. Kurt is unaffected by it, however, considering the lesson is still in its early stages. His second passenger is named Andrea. After a short conversation, she willingly drinks the poisoned water and dies without Kurt's involvement. He then moves to the back seat and showcases the body on the camera. Amidst this, he receives a call via FaceTime from his father, but Kurt hangs up, stating that he is unable to speak at this time. After that, he wipes away the problematic evidence. He unlocks Andrea's phone using her dead face, gives himself 5 stars, and then transfers the cost of the trip. He also sends a harsh note to her colleague, stating that she will not be expected at work. After disposing of the body, Kurt goes to pick up his third passenger, a prideful man named Mario. Kurt attempts to engage him in conversation in order to get him to drink the water. However, Mario fails to listen and instead orders him to concentrate entirely on driving. Kurt takes an unexpected turn to pick up another passenger. Mario is definitely against it and complains, but Kurt informs him of his agreement to share a ride. The fourth passenger is Jessie, a well-known influencer and stand-up comedian, but she cancels the trip as soon as she hears Mario hitting on her and walks away. Mario, who appears to be interested in her, encourages Kurt to get her ready to embark on the ride. As a result, he proposes that he drive Jessie for free, and she accepts for some reason. Kurt discovers that Jessie has a large fan base and wonders how she accumulated so many followers. In answer, she just states that she is funny. Throughout the drive, Mario continues to make contact with her, while Kurt requests that she promote his channel on her platform. When Jessie cannot handle it anymore, she captures it all on her phone and posts it on social media to rush away from the car. Kurt is disappointed as he has lost the opportunity to develop a friendship with a successful influencer. As a result, he alters directions and takes Mario over to a construction site, saying it offers a shortcut. Kurt requests the man to get himself out of his vehicle and throw up after his reckless driving made him sick. Mario goes out. Kurt plays a song at maximum volume and speeds up his automobile towards Mario, crushing him to death. Despite doing all of this, his channel does not increase. Kurt investigates Jessie on social media and discovers that she is going to participate in a comedy concert that will be streamed online to millions of people. Later, he arrives at a gas station to refill his tank and wash up the car. While doing so, he argues with Bobby, who reminds him that his stream is uninteresting and suggests that he has to spice things up. Bobby also demonstrates how he makes interesting videos by pranking people and doing social experiments. Kurt follows his advice and drives wildly for his next passengers, Kendra, Richard, and London, a socialite trio. Kendra and Richard are afraid of his driving, but London enjoys it, so she gets into the front seat to speak with Kurt. She is in search of a new boyfriend. Eventually, he takes them to a lonely junkyard. Kurt then encourages Richard and Kendra to spend time out on the sunroof because they'll soon arrive at an amazing view. The two accept and go live from each other's social media accounts, but Kurt unexpectedly closes the sunroof, trapping them. He then pulls over to an empty spot where a pack of wild dogs quickly attacks them. They feed on Richard and Kendra. Meanwhile, Kurt kills London using a drill. Kurt goes to wash his vehicle after the incident, and he asks Bobby for his thoughts. Unfortunately, the youngster criticizes his stream of consciousness as dull and confesses that he did not watch the triple kill. Kurt questions why Bobby hasn't given him a shout-out yet, to which the latter responds that he should be more real, like Jesse. Following this, Kurt rushes to see him in person and requests that he share his stream. However, Bobby simply laughs at him while in front of his large live audience. Kurt stabs him with a knife after he continues to insult him. Their scuffle quickly draws a considerable crowd. Bobby attempts to secure himself with a gun, but Kurt successfully captures it and kills him. Despite this horrible truth, spectators believe that the murder is faked. Kurt then broadcasts his stream via Bobby's feed, even filming himself shower in Bobby's blood. Throughout this, he gets a text message from his dad, who requests a ride to a nightclub. Kurt initially refuses to assist him, but when Dad declares that he will be meeting a renowned DJ, Uno, the audience cheers that Uno is amazing. Kurt agrees. Kurt then comes up on their conversation as they proceed towards the club. We understand from the way they speak that they do not have a strong relationship, which becomes more apparent when they argue. In addition, Kurt's father, Chris, notices Bobby's gun in his vehicle, causing another argument between Chris and Kurt. Eventually, they show up at the club and approach Uno. Kurt asks whether she can tag his channel in a post, and her response is that she agrees on the condition that he drives her to a taco truck. Kurt then drives her to a neighboring taco truck and takes some pictures of her. Later, when he goes for food, Uno stays for him in his car. As she looks around, she finds the gun, which she utilizes as an accessory and poses on her live stream. Soon after, she sips some of the poison water, causing her to cough before passing out. When Kurt returns, she already appears to be lifeless, having realized what occurred. He throws away the water bottle and tries to drive away, but gets stopped by a pair of police officers. When they question him, Kurt states that Uno is his girlfriend, who fell asleep after a party and then suddenly wakes up simply because she hadn't drunk enough water to die. She panics when she sees the cops and accidentally shoots one of them. Kurt decides to flee, yet he is chased by more officers. All of these instances are increasing his stream popularity, which makes him happy. Kurt begins driving like crazy in an effort to avoid the cops, and he eventually smashes into a homeless camp. Kurt's murders become public at this point, and he becomes known as the rideshare killer as a result of these unfortunate events. Spree has been temporarily turned off to allow for an investigation. In the following scene, Jesse is driven to her show by her fellow comedian Mike. Throughout the journey, he makes a nuisance of himself by constantly talking and boasting regarding his contacts. When Mike arrives at the venue, he addresses the audience with his performance, but no one laughs. However, the audience goes crazy when Jesse approaches the stage and starts her performance. Kurt appears to be sitting in a corner, taping his live stream after telling some jokes. She discusses her Spree experience, along with Mario and Kurt expressing dissatisfaction with people's desire for social media celebrity status. She underlines that true pleasure cannot be found through online approval, regardless of the number of views. Jesse ends her show by crushing her mobile device on stage, effectively cutting off her dependency on social media. Kurt feels touched by her speech, so he walks away from the situation without causing any trouble. After discovering about Spree's temporary shutdown, he books a trip using another app named GoGo. Soon later, a driver picks him up for a journey on the road. He jokes that he isn't the insane driver who keeps killing individuals all night. Kurt, whose face is captured on the dash cam, takes this personally, and he is ready to carry out another murder. Meanwhile, Jesse gets tired of Mike following her with a camera and cannot bear him anymore. She schedules a ride with GoGo and escapes the scene. Unexpectedly, Kurt is driving the car. He discloses that he went on her show earlier and she had fun with him, acknowledging his impending danger. Jesse commands him to stop the car. Kurt, on the other hand, ignores her and tells her that she cannot reach out for help since she broke her phone on stage. Now that she has no way out, the girl is not ready to give up. Jesse strangles him with the charging cable, causing the car to crash into a trash can. Kurt fights back and strikes a punch that knocks her out. He drives Jesse to his front yard and positions her just in front of his car's headlights. He then questions the audience regarding what he ought to undertake with her, and they urge that she should be killed. Kurt then proceeds to run over her with the vehicle, but his camera drops down at the last moment. At the point that he readjusts it, he has lost eyesight of Jesse, forcing him to get out of the car and look for her. The girl then takes advantage of the opportunity to get into the car and take control of the wheel. She then attempts to drive him over, but lacks control and crashes into his house. Kurt swiftly ends up in a room, leaving Jesse exposed to his intoxicated father. Their amazement grows when they discover Kurt's mother dead on the floor. It is revealed that she was Kurt's first victim, whom he killed off camera. Before Dad is able to confront him, Kurt pulls Bobby's pistol from the car and then shoots him. He then attempts to kill Jesse as well, but she almost gets back into the car before crushing him onto the wall. Later, she carefully comes out to investigate, only to discover that he is not yet dead. In a panic, she hits his head with his cell phone, which causes his death. Jesse then describes an online chat from his broadcast in which viewers request that she snap a selfie with Kurt. Surprisingly, she goes for it. In the days that follow, Jesse becomes a national celebrity for stopping Kurt's spree, while Kurt and his murderers gain praise in small communities on the internet. A user in one of these sections declares that he has finished gathering Kurt's killings into a film titled Spree. We really hope you enjoyed today's recap of the movie Spree. Please leave a comment below on what you loved about the movie and why. Be sure to like the video, and please don't forget to support our channel by subscribing so you don't miss any amazing content. Until next time, light, camera, action. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.